Today I mixed royal icing for the watermelon and pineapple cookie platter we baked in our last episode, Sweet Summer Cookies. Using fresh white icing along with leftover icing from the freezer, gel food colors, a little water, some elbow grease, and a pinch of fun, we work our way to our finished product. Join us to learn which colors I used and what it takes to get the right colors and consistencies for our platter. Today I will be making icing for the fruit platter cookies that we baked in our last episode. I actually need to make 5 different colors. I need 2 shades of green, a pineapple color, a watermelon color, and an orangey brownish color. I will be starting by using icing that I have in my freezer, and then I will be modifying from there. The colors that I think that I'm going to be needing to add to my already pre-made icing are lemon yellow, leaf green, pumpkin orange, mocha brown, and super red. So I will be starting with my lighter green and working my way from there. I've got some left over in a couple different spots here. Ooh, it's a little crusty. Let's mix it up and see if we can get the crusties to hydrate. Hopefully that won't make a huge difference, but hey, if it doesn't work out right, then we will find that out and I won't do it again. But I don't want to waste any icing. Sadly, I can't reuse the bags, I have to cut the ends off of them to get the icing out. This is the green that we made for the Flamingos and Monstera series that we did. And I'm kind of actually pretty happy with this green already. I'm not sure that there's much in the way of anything I need to do to it. So I am going for a thick flood. Now when I used this last time, it was a little too thick, and I think it was about a 20-second flood. I think I'm going to make it just a little bit thinner and hope that I don't make it too thin. Now I've got some water and an eyedropper to add little bits of water at a time to try to get to the consistency that I'm looking for. That was about 5 drops. And I don't want to spend my whole day mixing, because in the past when I have gone too slow in my water additions, I mixed and mixed and mixed and mixed, and it actually, I think it caused an over mixing. And I definitely don't want that. But what we're looking for is kind of a ribbon effect to happen here. And we're definitely not getting that yet. It was about maybe like half a dropper full. Yeah, I think we're good here. Let's hope it's perfect. So now I have my little glass here and my cheap tipless bags from Amazon. Let me just shove it all in there. I guess in this case it'd be more like a pouring rather than a shoving. I hope this is not too thin. I have had some serious problems with consistencies in the past. All right, and to get all of our little air bubbles out, I'm going to swoosh this guy around like a little helicopter. Which is always a really good workout for me. And it pretty much gets all of the air bubbles out and allows our icing to get down to the bottom there. Now I'm going to tie it up. I'm gonna cut off the end here. And there we go. 1 down, 4 to go. Now onto the darker green. Now, when I made this original green, I used the leaf green. And I also used my Chef Master Super Red. And it came out this really nice sage color green. And I was very happy with it. I'm also pretty happy with this green as well, so I'm just gonna thin it out to the flood consistency that I'm looking for. And then we'll move on to the fun ones where we're gonna have to start modifying from the leftover icing that we have. Number 2 is finished. I think what I'll go next for is my watermelon color. Now I don't have a ton of red here, but I don't think I need a super dark red anyway, so I'm going to add some white icing to this and see where we end up. I have some leftover white icing from the last batch that I made, and I throw them into these little 8-ounce containers and I put them into the freezer, and then I use them as if they were just freshly made, and so far it's been working out. All right, I'm gonna take just a little scoopful, see what happens from there. Hopefully we don't go too light, but I also need a fair amount of it. So, nope, definitely not too light. Actually, I kind of like that. I just wonder if it's enough. I'm gonna make a little bit more. I think I'm good with this color. All I needed to do was add the white base icing. I feel like we're ramping up here. We've gone from the super easy where I only add just a little bit of water to now I added just a little bit of white and then some water, and for sure to get the 2 remaining colors, I'm definitely going to have to do some swift handiwork. I think we're good. Color number 3 down. Now for the fun. I think I'm gonna do the pineapple color first, and I've got this super vibrant yellow to start with. So let's see what we can do with this. Looks like an egg yolk. Get some more of my white icing, add it in there and see what happens. I always cover up my icing when I'm not using it to ensure that it doesn't crust over on the top. Definitely lightened it up. I'm not sure. I almost feel like maybe I should add just a little tiny bit of this orange icing. Because it doesn't seem quite to be like the right tone to me. So let's take some of this and squeeze it in there and see what happens when we do that. I think maybe just a little bit more. I think I'm better at that. I think that's good. It kind of looks like pineapple Dole Whip to me. That sounds tasty. You know where they sell those? Disneyland. I have not been to Disneyland in, let's see, I think 2015 was the last time I went to Disneyland. And we are only 45 minutes from Disneyland. It has just gotten so expensive. No, thank you. Yeah. I think we hit pay dirt. I think I'm not going to take all of the pineapple color out of here. I think I want to use a little bit of it for the orangish brownish color that I need to make the stripes on the pineapple. So I think I'm going to leave a little bit of it in there. And I have to work fast so it doesn't get all nice and crusty. Well, I don't know about nice and crusty, but crusty. One more to go. All right, let's work fast here. All right, gotta work fast on this one. I don't need very much of this because I'm only going to be using it to lay the stripes down, like the grid, or for the little fruit berries or whatever they're called on the pineapple. I think they're berries. I think that's what cameraman told me. I'm definitely gonna have to add more white to this. Darn it, I was trying to get away with it without having to add some more, but I don't think that was enough. Okay, I think we have a good amount here now, but I definitely need to make this a little bit more brown. And it's funny, I thought I was gonna use all these different colors to make the icing today, but turns out I'm only gonna have to use the mocha brown. And I think that is because reusing the icing that I already had in my freezer makes the starting point so much easier. Now I'm actually going to use a little toothpick on this one. Hopefully not. In the past I've had I've had it drip over my toothpick as I was trying to put the color on it. And that was I thought it was going to be a disaster, but it turned out not to be. You could see that in the icing prep video that I did. Let's see. Yeah, that was for, I don't know, doesn't matter. My brain fails me. All right. See if I need to add more or not. Get it all mixed in here. I definitely think it needs a little more. Yeah, because we need it to be significantly darker than the yellow here. I noticed that the darker, like the mocha brown and the black, they kind of behave a little different. They seem to be like thicker, whereas the other colors seem to be more liquidy. Maybe we're getting closer here. Does it look darker? I can't tell. I mean, it is darker. I just kind of curious as to how that's gonna look. All right, I'm gonna take a chance on this one. I'm gonna take a chance on this one. Now there is a chance, because I added the mocha brown, that the color will develop a little bit more. I don't think that the orange or the yellow will develop any more because they were already fully developed before. I'm not entirely sure how all that works, but adding that mocha brown, I think, changes the game. And so I may even end up with a little bit darker, which I would still be happy with. Anytime I get a little bit of icing kind of near this area here, I always wipe it off, because I have had in the past icing kind of get up into the area where I have knotted it and kind of been, you know, where I cut it off, there was still icing in there, and then it crusts and then it kind of like flakes out all over the place. So I actually think it's worth it to just take the time to kind of wipe your finger through there and get that off. I know not everybody does that, but I find it makes my life easier at a time that I still am struggling to get things right on decorating these cookies. I want the least amount of friction possible that might make me want to throw cookies across the room, which almost happened once. See, I even still ended up with some in that area. Darn it, that is not what I was going for. And here I'm telling you not to do that. Ay, ay, ay. I got lucky. It got in the knot. It's not up here. All right, we have all 5 of our colors, but it just occurred to me that I have a circular cookie that I need to do, that I need to write on. Now, if you've ever seen any of the videos where I have attempted to write on cookies, it's not cute. And I, at some point, will start working on how to properly write on cookies. But I'm trying to get some of the fundamentals down first. And so that is a goal for later on. So I thought, actually, I'm gonna use this orange, and I'm gonna use what's left of my white, and I'm gonna make a soft peak piping consistency to be able to write with. You know what? It'll be fine. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna use it. And it seems to be already the kind of the consistency that I think that I need. So we go from there. All right, these are our finished colors for our flute. All right, these are our finished colors for our fruit platter. Join us next time when we actually do the decorating.
Next time on Kuny's Cookie Chronicles.
Today, I will be walking you through how I decorated this sweet summer pineapple and watermelon cookie platter set. If you haven't seen the first 2 videos in this series, which cover baking the caramel cookies and preparing the icing, the links are in the description below. Now, let's get to the icing.